All of the views and opinions expressed here are those of the individual speaking and may not be representative of Koenig American. At times, language may be considered vulgar. Listener discretion is suggested.
You are now listening to the Koenig Behind the Wheel podcast.
All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Wheel Wednesday podcast. I'm Nick. This is Scott. I don't know what to say after this.
I mean, you had
welcome
the intro.
back.
I mean, the man has
Welcome
one
back.
job. He says, should I do the intro? I said, sure. And he went ahead, and then he has nothing to say. So,
Well, that was it. Well, welcome to our Wheel Wednesday podcast. We do this every Wednesday.
that's true.
Pretty much it.
We do this every Wednesday. So, what's going on? How are you? All right.
Anyways.
So we're here. It is, well, I mean, we're moving through the week, so that's good. Let's see. Internally, not that you care, but in case you do, SEMA is on the horizon.
I was actually going to ask, how's the SEMA planning going?
It's
We mentioned that the past two podcasts.
Yeah, it's terrible. So
Terrible. Great.
yeah, it's terrible. We got
good to hear.
It's kind of always terrible right around this time. You know, we have cars locked in, so that's cool. We have a lot of arrangements that are kind of, you know, they go back and forth. You know, SEMA, it doesn't matter how much you plan. You could plan every last detail in advance. Everything just starts shuffling. It starts mixing.
Something will still go wrong.
Yeah, we've had to change things. We're moving things. We've decided to do some other things as we went on, and that's kind of changed some of the plans. So, you know, it's crazy. And then, you know, there's a lot of other variables that change that that are out of your control. You know, freight times and different things. So, yeah, it sucks.
Sounds like you got your hands full.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, it's like this much of what we do. So, like, we're doing that in our free time. So,
yeah.
But, you know, it's SEMA. So, if you're going to be out at SEMA, make sure you catch us. I think we're 43071 booth number. So,
Whatever that means.
It means come through. Check us out. And I think we're good because this year you're going to be coming to SEMA. That's cemented.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting.
And we're going to be able to turn some content out for you. We're going to be doing some live streams. There's going to be some cool things going on.
We are
SEMA.
going to be doing a lot of interviews at SEMA. So maybe a couple live things if we can manage to get the internet.
I would say that we'll probably do more live things than we will
Than anything.
Yeah, probably, because I think that as long as we have the internet, it's a great opportunity to kind of show you new wheels and some other things, and to kind of bring you some kind of on the floor footage from the show.
We have new wheels out already? Or like ready to go?
But we released them there. So,
okay.
So maybe we'll do something cool for people like you, and we'll maybe go live maybe the night before SEMA to try to give you like the sneak peek of what we're going to be releasing on Tuesday morning.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's get right into this week's Wheel Wednesday little subject here. It's I like to think it's going to be a little ranter McRanterstein. You know what I mean? A little ranty.
No, I did. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think it's going to be a little ranty. We try to cover questions and different things from the podcast. We've done that over and over again. We usually have subjects or different things. So one of the things that we continue to get asked about all the time, especially in the comments section, is do we make custom specs? Will we make them a custom wheel? Will we do something that we don't build?
That's actually a very good question. It's actually a question I had on my mind for a while. Well, because I thought about some crazy, ridiculous specs.
Stay tuned. We may answer it right here on this podcast. So, do we make custom offsets? Do we make custom specifications? The answer is no, but there's an explanation. So, we put out our part numbers. If you go to our website and you pick on a wheel that you like and click on the specs tab at the top, it will show you all the part numbers that we have. We have the ability to make any wheel we want. I mean, we can make a wheel that's, 18 by 18, or we can make a silly offset. It's not that we don't have the capability to make these wheels. And when we make a wheel, we're doing it primarily because we know or we see demand in that area.
Right.
And this is not as much, we'll have people that will say things like, oh, if you guys can't sell a lot of wheels, then you don't want to make it. Well, first off, that's not true. But let's go one step further. We make wheels that have demand behind them for a few reasons. One of the reasons, obviously, is that it's
They'll sell.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess we are a business, so it would be silly to make something that wouldn't sell. But, listen, it takes a good amount of logistics and investment in every wheel we make, whether it be making a new mold or different programs or machining time or, doing the R&D to be able to make sure it works in those vehicle applications. I mean, the one thing that we're very, very conscious of and very cognizant of is we do the research to make sure that when we make a wheel for, let's say, 50120 or for in certain intended vehicles,
right,
that they work. And you're going to bolt them on and not really have too much of an issue, except for some of the niche fitments that we make. And a lot of times you'll see us, or if you ask us if they'll fit, we'll say it's really aggressive, and if you're going to run them on your car, you need to do some homework.
Right.
And not because we don't want to help you, but because we can't tell you that, all you have to do is run this big spacer or whatever it is. Like, we can't say that.
So what goes into choosing the sizes and the specs that you're going to make for a certain wheel?
So we use some of it as sales history, right? There's some part numbers that we know we're going to build based off of the fact that we've built them before. They sell well. We know what vehicles they go on. There's other times that we do it based off of research.
So not every wheel that Koenig sells will fit every car, right? Certain wheels are only made for certain styles of vehicles.
Right.
So, I guess in an instance, well, I mean, you already said that we don't do this, but like, what if there was an instance where, like, let's say, I don't know, one of the hypergrams, somebody wanted it for their car and they didn't make like that certain size. What would be the options there? Yeah.
Like,
so is there a way for you to be like, all right, so many people are asking, maybe we should do it, or?
Yeah, I mean, the answer to that question is yes. So how can you get us to make a custom spec? Well, first off, if there really is demand there for it, first thing is we've said this so many times before. We're into hearing people's feedback.
Right.
Like if you have feedback, or if you know something's going on, or if you know that, hey, look, this fitment would fit my car or fit this car, and there's a lot of people and it's not really made by a lot of people, or it's not affordable to a lot of people. We listen to that. We've talked about that before. We did that with the Fiesta community, the Fiesta ST community. We've done that with the Focus community. I was actually going
to bring that up. The Fiesta.
We've done that before in some of the niche Volkswagen stuff, like giving them a flow formed offering and a little bit more of aggressive stance for some of the Volkswagen and Audi track guys. So we're absolutely on board to listen to what you have, and if there's a real demand there, we're okay to do it. So why don't we do, drilling? Why won't we just? Well, if we make a wheel in 18, 9.5 at a 20 offset, why can't we just drill it a different pattern than we don't right now? Right. And we'll get that question a lot, and the reason is actually fairly simple. It's not because we can't. We're not a 4 at a time company. We don't make wheels 4 at a time. You want to know how we keep our wheels affordable? We do it in a way that we are making part numbers that will have some volume there, so that we can affordably keep our keep our product affordable.
Right.
Once you start getting into 4 at a time, it's not just about the drilling or the actual workmanship or the labor time about it. I mean, it is about that, but now you're talking about paying a guy that has a different job to take wheels off a rack, to bring them over to your machining area, to drill just that pattern, to make sure that everything's still good and the paint didn't get chipped, or refinish the wheel afterward and then box them back up. And so when you start factoring that time in, it's not affordable anymore. Yeah. So if we were going to charge
adding all that time bumps up the price to doing it, as opposed to, like, I guess, and like a factory assembly line, like if they just automatically were to like drill out.
Right.
I don't know if we know, thinking of like a Ford assembly line, just constantly going through there, and then one person was like, oh, well, can we do one set this way or 2 sets this way? To now break up that assembly line is now going to take more time to get, the product out. And, you got to pay for the time. It's not just like, we can just do it and change like a couple settings.
Right. And so that's kind of the, obviously there's logistics in it that we don't need to get into because it's very, very specific. But, with that said is if we started to do that type of thing, let's say it was $100 per wheel charge to do that type of thing. Well, now our wheel could cost more. $100 more per wheel at our cost, which means that now by the time it gets to the retail level, it's more. It's just something we don't want to do. We really do work very hard, whether you believe us or not, to keep wheels affordable and to make sure that when we put out product, it's the best product that we can put out. And we've done the R&D, and we know it fits, and we know it's good product, and it's been QC'd. And when it comes to your door, it's as affordable as we can offer it. Right? So with that all said, by doing those 4 at a time, the price would go up tremendously, and it's not something that we're looking to do. So, how can you get us to make a wheel that's in a specification that we don't make right now? You can, first off, send us your feedback. Let us know. Right? Let us know what that fitment is. The next is, listen, we look into all that feedback. So if there really is a demand there, we'll look into it. We've done it before with hypergrams, introducing the 18 by 11 at a 15 offset, because we had a lot of our racers tell us that we're on 10.5s at 25 or 10.5 at an 18.
Right.
We had a lot of our racers tell us, hey, look, this is awesome when I'm running a 305, but when I'm stepping up to a 315, I need some extra room. And so we made the 18 by 11 and a 15, and that was the reason we made it. And it works well for that segment.
So how much feedback does it take to actually say, okay, we need to get this done. We need to
definitely more than one.
Well, obviously, but like, do the emails have to be rolling in, or is it like
I don't know,
a couple a week, or
I would say that
maybe over time you'll realize, I don't know, 100 people or a couple 100 people were like, what are the numbers like? Like how many people?
I don't know. I mean, that's a quantification that I couldn't give you, but I will say that with let's say the Fiesta ST community, we heard about it from one guy, then we looked into it a little bit, then we had a couple other people feedback on it. We did a little research. We had a couple more people feedback on it, and when we tried it, we did the hypergram, I think 17 by 8 first, and it did okay. So, here's another piece. After we finally make that spec, getting, you supporting it, is a big part to it. Watching it go forward. I mean, so now we didn't have one really good, solid Fiesta-driven fitment for the car. We had some Fiesta ST like conservative stuff, but they weren't aggressive stuff.
Right.
And so we actually took that and we made it, and then they bought it. And they were really happy with it. And then in turn, they said, well, it'd be great if we can also have this side. And we said, what the heck? We've seen a few people, tried that also, and that did okay. So it really just comes down to, a give and a go. And we really do use our, this, we probably, without even blinking an eye, we use our social base and we have conversations and we try to answer all the comments and questions and ask people like, well, what did you want this for? So we can figure it out what you want and how we can build it for you.
So here's a valid question, and we can cut this out if it's like going to.
No, we don't cut things out.
Well, yeah, no, we don't. All right, so how does it go about like actually selling them? Do you say, okay, enough people ask, and then you make like a certain quantity, and then try and sell out of that quantity, or is it like, you'll post up the availability for it, and then see how many people buy it, and then
we don't pre-sell. We don't do that. We've had people say that before about organizing group buys or pre-sales or something like that. We don't do that.
So when you post it to the website or Or,
it means we have committed to it, and it's available.
And they can buy it from a retailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, as far as that whole thing goes, I just think it's one of those things. You know, you want to support what you really believe should be the right thing for your car.
Right.
You know, I think that as far as the quantities go, sometimes when we bring something in, we'll go a little bit, slow, and then we'll gauge the demand as we sell.
That way you don't make too many, and then you're stuck with a whole bunch of sizes.
Not a perfect science. I mean, sometimes, especially with new fitments, like we'll make it and we'll blow through them day one. We've had that happen before. You know, we make a wheel. And, you know, we get the wheel all said and done, and it shows up, and let's say we brought a couple hundred of them in, and, day one, you sell
They're
a few.
all gone.
Because, and then you had a couple guys that commented to you, oh, when's this coming out? And you've already told him, or told them, and then
tell someone,
they go buy it, and next thing you know, it ends up as a post on a forum, or ends up on a Facebook, group or something like that.
Koenig wheels just got this size in, and everyone's
next thing
like,
you know,
oh my gosh.
And we've been wiped out in a day, and then, there's a lead time to take to kind of get wheels produced, and next thing you know, you're flat out of it.
Well, which is where my question came from, where, do you post it first and then make it, or do you make it and then
we tend to make it and then put it available.
Okay.
If we weren't confident about making something, we don't build it. So, how do we get confident? We do our research. It means it's got to exist. We just recently had, if I don't remember who this person is, but if you are listening to this and you see this, shout out to you, I guess. But not ripping you apart, by the way. Not ripping you apart.
I don't know what he's about to say, but if this is something good, comment below. If it's something bad, sorry.
We had somebody ask about a 2000, like an earlier WRX, and they said about how come we don't make an 18.5, 5 and 100 at like a 20 offset.
Was this a question on one of our podcasts?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No,
I feel like it was a question on one of our podcasts.
I just answered it the other day.
Oh, okay.
And I said to him, well, because you're in the minority of people that would ever run that on that car.
Right.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm not saying you can't go to a forum, look at that fitment.
It's just something that's not common enough to where it's like, all right, we can make it, and enough people are going to run this.
Yeah, on the average, I mean, for all the enthusiasts we do, I mean, we have a lot of people. For every time you have an enthusiast that buys a wheel that is aggressive or doesn't fit, or they got to do modification to run the wheel.
Right.
There's 10 other ones that just want to bolt the wheel on the car and drive down the road. Right? So for every guy you sell an 18.9.5 at a low offset, there's the guy that's 18.8.5 at a mid offset that just wants to put them on the car, put the right size tire on the car, not have any problems, and he put new wheels that are more aggressive than what he had on there.
Right.
But he doesn't want to go through the rigmarole.
Super crazy aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was actually going to be one of my next questions is what do you get more of, or what do we get more of? Is it more, we love this wheel and we just want a functional fitment for our car, or is it we want a much more aggressive fitment for the cars that we have?
Yeah, it's like on social media and in the forums and stuff like that, people tend to ask for things or want things that the majority will never buy.
Right.
They want finishes and colors that we don't make. They, and I say, and listen, and this isn't knocking anybody. Like, we appreciate every single comment you send in, and we try to do as much as we can of it. But, there'll be a lot of people that will say, everybody would buy this thing if you made it in lime green. And we've done that. We've been doing,
questionable.
Almost 40 years we've been doing this, and when we tend to do things like that, you find that that's not necessarily accurate.
Yeah.
Right?
You need to go more off data and less off what people comment on social media.
But we take
like that one
serious,
person comments like, "Oh, everybody," like you need to go off everybody's comments. Like,
right.
I'm sure if 150 people all commented like, "Oh, we would be interested in this thing," then you actually take that into consideration. Like, okay, maybe people will actually be interested, as opposed to just one person saying, "Oh, everybody would love this." It's like, okay, where's the the proof to back that up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of pieces here. So I guess, kind of wrapping up this subject a little bit. How can you get us to make a wheel spec that we don't already make? Well, one, send the message in, let us know what's up, and be as factual and accurate as you possibly can. If you send us things like, hey, this is my car, this is what I do, this is what I have on the car, and, this is the type of fitment that I'm really looking for, and it's really neat, and here I see other people doing this type of thing.
Right.
And that happened again with the Focus ST crowd. I mean, I don't know why it's a Ford thing, but, they're just good examples I can remember.
Yeah.
With the Ford ST crowd, they basically had said, hey, look, it's cool that you made an 18.8.5 at a 43. It fits your car. We love the wheel. But there's a lot of ST guys now that are starting to put fender flares on the car. And I'm like, okay. So they're putting fender flares on the car, so they want to put an 18x9.
To go to wider.
Some even, like with the RS guys, some of them even want the 9.5s.
Because they want more aggressive fitment
be able to
and look to it.
Yeah, to be able to fill up.
I'm laughing. I don't know who that was, but they just kind of peeked in the door
so they want more aggressive fits, to fill up the fender flares. And we had a couple people send a couple things in. We did a little research. We saw people doing the fender flare things. We had a couple other people comment. We went back and forth and was like, you know what, let's try this. And it works. So we'll do the research on our end. And it's not, I know it sounds like it is. It's not about necessarily always making as much money as we can. That's not really as much of a factor as you would think. A lot of it comes down to, can we justify the cost of investment that we're going to have to put into it? And is there a valid demand there? And are we making a wheel that is going to be utilized by more than a handful of people? Right. And I think if we can do that, if we can come across that information, there's a very real possibility that we could add a fitment, and that's real. So I would say for everybody that we have asking about custom fitments and custom specs, understand, please, we really do our best to make our wheels as affordable as possible. And one of the things that we have to do is do research to make sure that we're going to be able to have enough volume there to push the price down.
So now, when you say custom specs, you just mean like the wheels that we already have that they just want to be able to fit them on their car or make them look a little bit more aggressive, not necessarily like modifying the design or anything like that.
I mean, listen, we get questions all the time about if we can just change
make
the
a bigger lip or change the color.
So we get
or
that stuff, and that
like
stuff is all valid.
Deeper concave.
That stuff is all valid, but I would say that when you make a comment about a given style or a bigger lip or this or that or actual design changes in the style of a wheel, we consider those elements and those things as we develop new wheels for following years.
Right.
I know right now, and you guys are we've had some comments about different things with lips, and we've tried to work on that for some upcoming designs. So,
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe, right? So
let me find out, Scott.
We keep all that stuff in the mix of things, and we consider your feedback. So we appreciate your feedback. Thank you for sending it. We encourage you to send more, and we'll do what we can.
Speaking of feedback, what do you say we go live on Instagram right now and try and see if we can get any questions for the end of this podcast?
We can give it a shot. I feel like I need to take these headphones off, though.
Do you?
I feel like I'm for...
I don't know. I feel comfortable with mine on, but if you want to take yours off, you're more than welcome to.
This
is actually something we've never done before.
No.
We've never gone live during, the filming of one of our podcasts. Sometimes we shoot them on Tuesday night instead of Wednesday morning, just because, if we know we have a lot of stuff going on, we'd rather make sure we can get it out on Wednesday instead of, it takes all day Wednesday and we shoot Thursday. So, and then we post it Thursday. So, I figured this would be a pretty good opportunity to go live.
Okay.
Instead of doing a poll. So let's see how this goes.
So what are you going to do here?
All right, so we're live on Instagram right now.
We are?
Give this a second.
People are like, why are they holding...
I'm like, why are you guys holding up microphones? They can't hear what's coming through these microphones. They just hear us.
Yeah. So what's going on for everybody that's joining us out there on Instagram? You might be wondering why we're holding a microphone. We are in the process of recording our podcast that comes out tomorrow, and we're looking to maybe take some questions. So if you have any questions and you're looking to throw some of that our way, we are looking to answer some of them on the podcast.
Yeah, so this is one of the first times that we're doing this. Usually we'll post up like one of those little question boxes and ask for your questions, and then we'll read them here. But we thought it'd be cool if we decided to do a live video, so that way you guys could ask us right here, and then if we want, maybe we'll shout you out or something and say who asked the questions.
Ship to APO. I don't know what that means.
Ship to APO. I don't know what that means either.
I feel like we might be looking silly because we didn't know what the answer to that was.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Okay.
I really wish that didn't just happen.
I was listening to that song in the car the other day. I was in the mood to hear it.
Do you custom order specs? So
yeah.
Daniel,
who's that? Daniel. Wow, the live video
Daniel,
call. Someone called.
The funny thing that you just asked is our podcast tomorrow. We just finished recording is entirely about that. So. Go answer. I answered that question in entirety. It will be out tomorrow. Check out our YouTube channel, and all that information is right there.
Don't you feel like we should give him a little bit of a bone? He's asking us this live.
I don't know about the bone thing, but listen. So the answer is we don't build custom specs, but there is a very real possibility that we tell you in tomorrow's podcast how you can possibly get us to build wheels that are a little bit more custom to the spec that you're looking for. And a lot of the reason that we don't build custom specs has to do with just keeping the cost down and affordable, but we're always looking for feedback.
But also tune in tomorrow because we have a lot of information on that. So, next question. What are great track and street specified wheels?
I think this has a lot to do with the type of fitment that you're running, and I think it has a lot to do with the type of car that you have. So it's kind of a hard question to answer. Why don't you throw some more information on that as far as what kind of car you have and how much track use you use and how aggressive you're looking to go.
No more. Nice. All right, let's see. What inspired the Koenig logo? Pretty interesting question. Scott, what inspired the Koenig logo?
Probably the company's name. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about the crown. Listen, I mean, Koenig in German does mean king, so I think that there's a lot of that's where the crown thing came from. So I don't know if that answered your questions. I see some ampliforms on the wall. My dude, Flying Gato. Yeah, yes, we always have ampliforms. That's the deal. What else we got?
Those rims on top of the white are hard. Well,
the silver.
That's not white. That's silver. And,
yeah,
and those
that's
it.
That's
right?
yeah. No. That's the wheel. That's hold on. There we go. That wheel one up there. That's in our Advanti racing line. So if you want to check that out, that's interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Scott, let's see. Is there an interesting story behind you getting a job at Koenig? I don't know if it's interesting. I'll tell you. I guess if you want to know, we're gonna have to cut some of this out of the podcast. This
probably. Oh yeah. By the way, I should probably say that.
Yeah, you guys are.
We're
on the podcast.
You guys are on the podcast, so some of these questions will be answered tomorrow on the podcast. So, stay tuned for that.
I don't know if it's an interesting story. So, I was doing something else automotive related, and I had a college degree in marketing, and I think I was just looking for local companies here in New York that gave me the opportunity to kind of do some marketing for these companies. And I actually sent an email in through the general email thing on the website, and they actually answered me back and said, "Why don't you come on in for an interview?" I had sent a resume before that, obviously, and I came in for an interview. I had a good interview, and about a week and a half later, I was sitting at a desk working for Koenig. So I don't know if that's incredibly interesting, but that's what happened.
It's kind of interesting.
No,
that's actually. I was a little curious about that.
There's probably.
You said
more
you've been
to
here
it,
for a long time.
Yeah, long time.
Okay. Anyways, hey, I need new wheels for my 09 boat Challenger. Yes, 09 Challengers are in fact boats. So
that's cold. I don't think you have a boat.
Any options on? Well, I drive a go-kart, so to me it's a boat. Any options off the top of your head? What we have for him?
I don't know. It depends on your look. I mean, the Ampliforms certainly have fitment for him. There's also a wheel in our Bravado Performance line.
Right here.
No, you keep doing that.
No.
That's the Avanti wheel. That's the Avanti wheel. Right.
Where?
Yeah.
You pointed out the Ampliforms before.
No, they're not here. I don't even know. I lied to them. It's not here.
Oops. Sorry.
We moved it off the wall. So anyhow, so there's some wheels in our Bravado Performance line. Tributes. So check those out, I guess.
My parents' minivan has your guys' wheels. It looks, I don't know what that word means, but awesome.
I think I know what it means, but I'm going to skip over it.
I think it means great. Hey, what's going on? How can I win a free 4-wheel set? Well, actually, so we did a wheel giveaway last month. Scott, you want to tell them about our wheel giveaway we did?
We had one. You missed it. make sure you subscribe to our newsletter and to our YouTube channel because we're kind of constantly doing more of those giveaways as we go. So we'll try to do another one soon, I think.
I have those black ones on my minivan. Awesome. That's an awesome minivan.
Yeah, it works. Corvette C8 needs some. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean C8, so I don't know yet, man. Just want options in 40108. We just actually got done speaking
we
about
just
this.
Spoke about,
yeah, so
what do you drive? A Fiesta or
Fiesta ST or something, right? So we have some options for you in especially 16 and 17 inch. So I don't know. Check that out.
So when is the giveaway? The giveaway was last month. Sorry, but subscribe to our newsletter and our YouTube channel, and we will let you know if we do more. Well, when we do more giveaways.
Yeah, we have some other things coming up.
Giveaways.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any rims for Camaro SS?
Yes. Check out our Bravado Performance line. If you go to the wheels tab, scroll down. I think it's under muscle car wheels or something like that. But there's a couple options there.
Are all Camaro SS is the same bolt pattern?
5-1-20.
Sweet. Pretty easy.
MR2. I'm trying to make it a weekend warrior while still keeping the wheels strong enough for daily use. Oh, that was the guy getting back to it. So, so I mean, I would say decide what wheels you're looking for as far as the size and fitment, because what the car fits, naturally, and what you're able to put on there with, a lot of the modifications people are doing or how wide you're willing to go really changes the gauntlet of kind of what you could possibly put on the car. So start there. We have plenty of people that do things like hypergrams and staggered and 17-inch and different things like that. I wouldn't go too much big. I mean, 17 on that car to me is like right there on that happy spot for that MR2. It's one of those cars that when you lower down and put the right size tire on, the car really looks tough and looks mean. And when you start to go too wide and the tire looks short, or if you go too small, I just think the car looks weird. But that's my own personal opinion.
Do you have any wheels for the C300?
Yeah, we do. It depends on what year. If it's an early Benz, some of the hubs get a little obnoxious in the front. But we have wheels for C300 for sure.
Hold on, let me get a little more comfortable. I'm over here like Ben.
Well, we got a Keystone coming through with a question. What's up, Keystone? I think that's probably Patrick from Keystone.
What are the differences between the different methods of wheel construction, Casks, forge, flow form, and how the process impacts the weight and strength? Did we touch upon this?
No. So, yes, but we're gonna do more of this on an oncoming podcast.
Yeah, we should do a whole podcast. Maybe next week we'll do a whole podcast on this.
I don't know about next week, but it's a pretty in-depth subject. So it's one that we've kind of been kicking around because it's so difficult, I think, to answer in a good total way and kind of not leave things out. I think it's one of those podcasts or one of those information where it would be really tough to explain it all and not have people comment about the parts that you left out or didn't. There's pros and cons to all. I would say it really depends on, one, your budget, and two, your use. Listen, there comes an extent with wheels, especially when it comes to wheels per dollar, that really can change. What's the right way to say this? Look, if you have a budget and your budget is your concern, and you have a functional use, and you're never going to hit the track, or you're never going to end up in a place where you need, a forged wheel or something to that effect, then there's plenty of options for you. I think forging obviously it becomes, as far as strength, it has the ability to, but there's a lot of other factors like load rating. Not everything, just because it's forged or whatever is, or it's flow formed or it's cast, is load rated the same way. So there's a lot of different things there and a lot to consider. So it's hard to answer that 100%.
Okay, next question. How long has the company been around?
So we are on, I believe this is year 38.
Almost 40 years.
Yeah, I believe it's 38 years.
It says that on my Koenig shirt. It's hard to find wheels when you try a FRS wide body.
I think it's hard to find wheels when you wide body most cars, and that's because you end up getting to the point where you've crossed out of normal sizing and into such low offsets and wide wheels, for the most part, that you start to cross into a money range that's very, very expensive, because you're looking for a one-off wheel. And when you look for a one-off wheel and get into multiple piece wheels to kind of quick fix do that, without having wheels that have molds, and that's kind of what we touched on in the podcast, you start to get into some really expensive wheels. And so that's why I think it becomes tough to find the wheels, right?
Right. All right. When will you guys sponsor? Thanks. Okay.
Scroll up a little bit. You missed a few. Let me scroll down a little bit.
I mean, this is kind of some statements. Those aren't really questions.
Okay. I missed this. Gotcha. We get sponsor.
When will you guys sponsor?
I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means.
All right. Well, we did a podcast on how to get a sponsorship.
I want to get to this, dude. The guys who just said, somebody said, "Are you hiring?" The answer is yes. We are hiring.
This guy. That's the guy that said, "What is love?"
Oh, cool.
Nice. You get a job here, we could sing all day.
So we are hiring in our California warehouse. We have a warehouse position open. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but if you are, then go ahead and throw your resume or DM us.
Okay, let's see.
No.
Can I have a free set of wheels?
I already answered that one.
Oh, sorry. Is it just me or you guys only do one-piece wheels?
No, it's not just you. We only do one-piece wheels.
Cool.
We have made multiple-piece wheels before. Just not our thing.
Ooh, I like this one. What kind of cars do you guys own or other employees?
I don't know. I mean, I have a 350Z. I have a daily driver, too. Nick's got a Unos. It's small.
Who won the wheels?
Somebody named Ephraim. We put that details onto our feed, so you can check that out.
Do you know the price of a set of black 18-inch neochrome Koenigs? Can't find the pricing anywhere.
So the reason you can't find them is, I think when you mean neochrome, you're talking about a Koenig Afterburner. We discontinued that like 12 years ago. That's probably why you're having a little difficulty finding it. So I don't know the price. I'm not sure where you can find them, unfortunately. Sorry.
Best finishes?
Depends on the area. I would say if you live in a really harsh environment, go with something that's full painted. Don't go with something that's machined. I think the full painted stuff will last you a little bit longer. It's a little bit easier to care for as well.
Do you do financing? So Koenig actually doesn't sell the wheels themselves. We have retailers that sells all of the wheels. So some of your retailers might actually have finance programs. I know
a lot of them do.
Yeah, a lot of them do actually do that. So look at your retailers, not for Koenig, for financing.
Yep. 5012, yes. I don't know what's the best type of wheels. I think it depends on what you're using them for. Love my hypergrams. Kind of want to see a second set of daily duty. Cool. Appreciate that.
You guys make the best rims. Oh, thank you. Do you think a set of decograms would look good on an IS300?
Sure. Yeah.
Which IS300? I feel like they would. I think that would look good on there. I'm looking for black and blue for Infiniti G37s.
I mean, we make a wheel that's black and blue. I would say if you're not looking to stagger, then you probably can get away with looking at like a Koenig Myth. Look at a Koenig Myth.
What kind of cars are you into? Import, domestic, stance, track? I love Japanese cars and I love to stance them, but that's just my personal preference.
I like proper aggressive fit cars, and yeah, I guess I'm a JDM guy. I love everything automotive. I really am. Like, I really appreciate anything car related, especially when people do a really good job and put a lot of their heart and soul into kind of customizing a car and making it their own.
Any chance of wheels that have more pronounced lip on your flow form wheels, have decograms, and love them on my Golf R?
Yeah, so stay tuned for some of the live streams we're going to be doing in a month or so at SEMA, man. We're going to be releasing a couple wheels, and I hope to bring you that answer for sure.
All right, so I'm going to say we have about maybe 3 or 4 minutes left on this. So,
maybe YouTube channel. Koenig Wheels USA. Go check us out.
Right.
Subscribe. Throw it out.
Let's start lightning rounding this.
Lightning rounding it.
Yeah, we're going to go through these
Yes,
fast. Are you introducing new wheels at SEMA? Yes, we are. Subaru Legacy, hook me up. Follow us on YouTube and subscribe to our newsletter, and you will find out when we do another wheel giveaway. I have
sponsorship. Okay. If you've contacted us in the past, I'm sure you got an answer. If you didn't get an answer or anything like that, I mean, you can feel free to send us any proposal that you have. We get a lot of them. So,
any rims for Gen 2 Mazda 3?
Yes, a lot of them. So,
I guess check out our website. What would you suggest for a 2019 Mini Cooper JCW?
That's a great question. I don't know that we have the brake caliper on a 2019, so I'm not 100% off the top of my head. I would say I'm not sure.
Okay, but
stop me.
But they can message us on Instagram.
I don't know if we have the brake caliper for a brand new JCW.
Okay,
so
we're working on it.
We'll look into
it. Best wheels for 2018 Civic Hatch Sport.
Anytime you ask what the best wheels are, the answer is always going to be make sure you tell us what function you're using them for, because it really depends.
Okay, so then we're going to keep skipping over those.
Any wheels in chrome? No.
Let's see.
Chrome. Machine, maybe.
That's S2000 wheel. Okay, we're going to go for that. For wide body.
What?
Again, it's kind of tricky. Best S2000 wheel you have for a wide
the
body.
light wheel Koenig has in its inventory, and how much do they weigh? It depends on what size. I mean, if you go down to 15 by 7s, we have wheels that are under 10 pounds. So it just depends.
The new specs for Koenig Hypergrams, and he did one of these. Very nice.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
Let's see, thank you. How can I start my own business with Koenig wheels? I assume that means as a retailer?
So I would say if you do not have a Koenig account and you're kind of new to the biz, I would say, listen, you got companies like Keystone Automotive and American Tire Distributors or whatever it is that do wholesaling, and when they do wholesale, the one thing that they're very good about is catering to people that are not looking to be stocking dealers. So look that way. Would you agree that if you're going to pick up a set of rep wheels, that the wheels you pick up at least one-piece cast wheels, because the majority of the rep wheels are one-piece cast? I don't know that I understand your question, but I would say that with any wheels you buy, with whatever company you buy, and whoever you decide to go for, just do your research. Make sure you got a quality company, that they've been around for a while, that they're not just an importer or anything like that doesn't really know the wheel knowledge. Give them a call. Have a conversation with them. I don't think those are things that are unreasonable. Make sure that they're properly load rated for their vehicle. And I would say if you do all those things and you do your homework and you find the wheel's quality and speak to them, if you feel comfortable with it, it's up to you. But the research is usually out there.
Okay, let's see. How can I get Koenig involved in my RB 26 G35 build? It sounds like you're looking for a sponsorship. Check out our podcast on how to get sponsorships, and you will see everything that you need. Sorry for the question multiple times. Thanks for the information, though. You are absolutely welcome. That is what we are here for. Okay, we've got about 45 seconds left before it's done. B is for build with a heart. Oh, we love you. Let's see.
Well, that's not him, but
we love them, and we love you, and we love all of you. Do you ship internationally?
We do, but I would also keep in mind that our retailers are the ones that would probably be shipping to you. So,
ooh, I like this question. What do you believe is the best size wheels for NA Miata? So, me being a Miata driver and driving a Junos Roadster, I believe I love 15-inch wheels with a very fat tire. for a more aggressive look, or either that or a 16-inch wheel with a lower profile tire. Either one of those I feel look fantastic on Miatas, but again, that's just my personal preference, and some other people might disagree with me.
Yeah, if you're into 15-inch, I would say if you're not looking to do any modifications, you're looking just to put something on the car and to have a good fit and keep it lightweight, I would say do with like a 15.7. Like 15.7 dial-ins are really popular. 15.7.5 hypergrams are really popular. They're lightweight, and it ends up being a really good fit for the car. You don't lose any power. You kind of feel like you did something there.
Me personally, also 15x8, I really love. But anyways, continuing on. Anything good for a 2003 Ford Mustang?
Yeah, it depends on the fit. We have wheels for it.
Okay, we are running out of time, so I will say one more question. I will let Scott pick the question, and then we're going to have to wrap this up.
Let me hit a few of these. I'll go quickly. What are the wheels? What are good wheels for the 350Z? I don't know. I think pretty much all of our stuff that we have available staggered is pretty cool. So check the flow form stuff out like that. I have, let's see, have Koenig control. Cool. I don't have a matching banner.
You have to actually read these so that I can see them.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, you have to actually read them out loud.
Where's the podcast with that information? Just go to our YouTube channel and look for the podcast that talks about sponsorships. It says sponsorships. Other wheel makers that you guys like personally. That's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of good quality companies out there. So, I'm trying to think.
That's it.
Love my overseer. Shout out. Go to email from some. All right, cool. So that's the end of our ranting and question answering. If you have any other questions, like always, make sure you leave them down below. Or if you're on iTunes or Google Play or one of those things, head over to our YouTube channel, comment there, throw us a message, a DM. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, just do that. And yeah,
we're on all the social platforms.
Yep,
we answer questions all the time. My phone blows up because I'm logged into all of these things.
Nice. Make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, a like. By now, there's probably like 16 people watching, so we've already missed our opportunity for that. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next Wednesday. And make sure to stay tuned. I think we have an FD podcast coming up shortly. So we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.